I am the varying Miniweather, better known as Minnie.
Sam Jones.
Warren Peterman.
All right, my name is Terry Z9.
My name is Tim Trick or Trees McKay.
My name is Remy Williams.
My name is Sean Thayard, the Black Badge.
That's hard. I really don't know if I could describe my life in one concise word, but if I had to choose a word, chaotic.
It's been awesome so far. Awesome.
If I could boil all my life experience into one word, it would be movie. Because when you first tune into a movie, or you see the previews, you have an idea how it's gonna go, or okay, I feel like I would watch this movie. But then when you get to the movie, it starts off exactly how you would picture it or exactly how you would want it to. And then that first unexpected turn happens, and then now you lost for a second. Oh, what's gonna happen next? How they gonna get through it? What's gonna be what's gonna be the outcome now? And then a few things happen along the way, and then when you finally get to the end, it's supposed to be a happy ending, but that's not always the case.
The type of household I was raised in, my mom and dad split when I was a baby. I don't know exactly how old, but I know the last time I can remember them being together was when I was between 4 and 5 years old. Cause I remember we lived together, and I remember Christmas. That's like the last memory I have, and like the last house we lived in was Christmas with them.
I grew up in a large household with my cousins and nephews. That's mainly because it's the African tradition. But when I came over here, I was living with my mom and my twin sister for 10 years. So it's two different sizes.
I was raised in a two-parent household. I had my mom, my pops, my brother, and my sister.
Okay, so by you having your dad in your life, how did his role affect your childhood and adulthood?
That's one of the most hardest working men I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen him stumble. I've never seen him stutter. It was, what does the family need? I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna get it. And I'm gonna bring it back here for my wife and the children. So seeing him, that's all I ever wanted to be. So I always say, I do what I'm supposed to do, because my pops did what he was supposed to do. I don't know what happened when he walked out that door, but I know whenever he came back, the job was done. So that's how I try to live my life. I gotta get the job done by any means.
My dad is honestly my hero in so many ways. Since for a lot of my life, I lived with just my dad, right? That was like, it was a really different dynamic from living with my dad, who, it was, I guess, was very like strict and military, and then going to spend my summers with my mom, who was very like, I wouldn't say like lax. I guess you could say lax. So, like I was my mom's baby at that point, So I got away with a lot with her, but with him, hell no. I was like punished all the time. but I mean, like I think having that difference really, really helped me in my growth, because I seen, I guess you could say, both sides of the coin.
His role in my life is it's a must-have. A lot of who I am today is because of my dad. I studied his demeanor and how to handle crisis, how to handle tough situations, and he was soft-spoken, but he didn't believe too much in Africa, so he didn't believe too much in weapons. But my mom did, so he would often intervene. So I would say a balance between a calm demeanor and discipline, quiet discipline.
Pure hell. Like That's simply it. Because before, like I said, and I call him up like, this is my dad. Even though he's my stepdad, he raised me. But before, it was hell. I didn't know what was gonna happen that day. Didn't have that shoulder to lean on, that example of how a man's supposed to get down. I didn't know anything. So I'm just out there, just being reckless. Cause I just thought I could just do whatever the hell I wanted to do. But when he came in and set that structure, all right, this how I'm supposed to be doing.
Was your stepdad in your life since day one?
He was there, I think I was about 4 or 5 years old. Might a little bit past that, because I was old enough to realize, who my actual dad was, and him, and the whole concept of him and my mom dating. So I was young, but not too young.
For sure. So what is your relationship like with your biological father?
I guess you could say we're cool. It wasn't the father-son bond, like, we're going to the park, we're going to play ball or something like that. He don't really like sports like that. I love him. But from, childhood to my teenage years, didn't really see each other too often. As an adult, we see each other every once in a while. Might go grab a drink or something. Might hit the gym. Other than that, if he call, he call. If he don't, he don't.
Finances with my father, honestly, like, my dad is very good with money. I'm not even gonna lie to you. My dad is extremely good with money, and I'm glad that he didn't pass all of that down to me, but a good portion of, always having, your money right, he did instill that into me. Now, as far as like my mom, her situation was a little different. So I wouldn't say that she wasn't as well off as my father. I mean, I guess she wasn't, but there were some things that happened in her life that caused her to, kind of get into a bad financial space. Not solely her fault, because, things happen. It's like the way this country is set up, once you get into a bad hole, it's hard to get out of. But I'm thankful that I at least had my dad, who was very financially sound. He was in the military. He was a teacher at Hollandville High School, and currently now at Destrehan. And he also had a job at Home Depot. So my dad was always working. And he instilled, having good finances to have a good life into me. And I'm proud to say that, I mean, it rubbed off. Like, I've been living on my own since 2013. I never got evicted. I got my car repoed once, but that was entirely on my fault. But after that, I've always been really good with money, and I thank my dad for that.
I would say we're lower middle class. It's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. Growing up, it was a struggle. We had to come out of one of our homes because we didn't have, the rent was too high. So they decided to build a cheap house. And coming over here was a bit of a struggle at first. I mean, it's just now getting a little bit better because the wages, the style of life, you got to work, you got to try to go to school, you got to balance a lot of things. Not to say that, because we haven't gotten that question yet, but I mean, you have to try, as a minority or black person, I feel like you have to try to get educated to get a fair shot just in the interview room. So you cannot, when I thought about it, my plan, I didn't feel like you can just have to work. I had to work and try to go to school and to give myself a fair shot. Even then, it's still a bit of a struggle.
I couldn't really say middle class, but we wasn't poor neither. So I'm gonna say we was right in between those two. Sometimes, we needed help from, we needed a lot of help from grandma, but, I ate. I don't know a lot of times if my folks ate that night or not, but, well, I know mom ate. But I mean, they always made sure they made sure we didn't know all that was going on, no matter what it was. I done seen Pops have, like I said, a couple jobs, but I never seen him not have them. But I know as an adult, there was at some point in time between this job and that job, Pops didn't have a job, but he always made sure to bring the money home, or he made sure to find a way. Or, like I said, we didn't miss no meals. Of course, we wasn't eating, steak and lobster, but, our bellies was full when we went to sleep that night. We needed school clothes, we got them. Didn't have the freshest stuff or, the newest stuff, but, we was good. I can't really say that we was poor.
If I didn't have my dad, oh Lord. I feel like if I didn't have my dad, that's a hard question. That's a very hard question to answer. I don't know. I mean, if I didn't have my dad, I would have my mom. And I feel like I would still be the same person. Like, I want to say I'm a good mix between my father and my mother, because my mom is very, very compassionate, very selfless. But at the same time, so is my father, but just in a different way, Like, I would be that kid that, oh, Daddy, can you give me this, the PlayStation 2, can you give me the Game Boy? And he'd always be like, no, we ain't got time for that. We ain't got no money for that. And then a week later, it's right there, Like, he'll find a way. And it's like, same thing with my mom. Even though she wasn't like in a financial position that he was in, she still found a way to give me whatever I wanted, But at a certain point, when I got to a certain point in my childhood, I recognized the difference between what he has and what she has. So I would always usually just get stuff from him and just let my mom keep the little money she got. Or if she wanted to give me a gift, I'll accept it. But I know not to ask her because she doesn't really have it like he has it.
He had a strong influence on somebody to calm demeanor. If he was in my life, I'd be a little bit more volatile in my reaction to things, a little bit more emotional. He was like that in the beginning, but he switched up, and he became more calm, and so that's what I learned. I mean, but I also have a strong mom. So if my dad passed away like 3 years ago, and she handled it really well. I mean, not only did my dad, I lost a dad and a grandpa in the same month. So she lost a husband and her dad in the same month. So, but she's strong, you know what I'm saying? So we handled that together, and I learned a lot from that. And yeah, so it's not just the dad. So I have a strong mom, and that guides me even to this day. I thank her every day for how she raised me. At first, when I was young, I didn't understand it, you know what I'm saying? But every day after he passed away, living with my mom, talking to my mom, seeing how she's doing, she didn't crumble. She buried that man the proper way, with respect. And being a woman it's not just here, but being a woman in Africa, there was a clash. You know what I'm saying? There was a clash in how it should be handled, because they have still some very male-dominant perspectives over there. So I also have a strong mom. So it's not been total chaos after he's gone. I'd have been extremely more disciplined. I probably would have gone further in education-wise. discipline would have been better. Still good, but it's been different kind of discipline. You know what I'm saying? He's like the kind of discipline where a parent just looks at a child. That kind of discipline. You know, my mom took care of the whippings, but he was more of the quiet type, quiet discipline. So I would have been more disciplined, definitely.
So,
Black men have a huge amount of expectations placed upon them. For instance, growing up, I was tiny. Growing up, I was tiny. I was soft spoken. You know, I have 2 older sisters, so I'm not like the big manly man. You know, that never was me. And even though my dad, he's not a small dude, but you know, he's similar to me. He's I wouldn't say he's soft spoken, like he got a little bass in his voice, but he's not like, you know, I guess he's like a macho man, you know. So I never really felt the need to be like that, but I was always pressured to be like that. Mostly from, you know, friends. Oh, you too soft. Oh, you know, oh, you a sissy. Oh, you a punk. Oh, this, and that, and the third. Oh, you gay.
That's a good question. But I mean, the plight of black men in America is sad. It's unfortunate. Answer that question can't be handled in one answer. I don't think even 5 minutes is enough to answer the question. It's long enough because, for one, you have a lot of black males, me included, being thrown in jail, a break up the family, and the woman is left to raise the kids.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Oh, I can take my joint? I can? No? Yes. All right, cool. Yes, indeed. We are the strongest men. I'm going to say that. Period. We are the strongest men. We have to deal with everything, and I mean everything. We have to get up, and we already know that they're fighting against us. Like I said, we already know that this could happen just because of the color of my skin. This could happen just because your name is spelled this way. I could have not got this job because they could tell this name is quote unquote ghetto. Or I don't like the way, you know, this guy talks, or whatever it could be. Or this man might have had, you know, an issue with another black man long time ago, but because I remind you of him, now I got to deal with them problems because you can't differentiate between black men or another person. So everything we do, we got to work twice as hard just to get half of the consideration. So yeah, we get our asses handed to us on a regular basis, knowing it's gonna happen, but still gotta get up and go out and do it anyway, because nobody else is.
Do black women hinder black men by standing up for them? And okay, so this is what I wanted to say. So in that sense, like, black men should recognize the example that's being set for them. You know, like I feel as though a lot of black men do not stick up for black women. Like we'll protect other races before we protect our own in a lot of cases.
And then society criticizes the black woman for how she raises her kids. But I mean, she's firm. But I understand the discipline part is maybe not there because a man has it's a more firm type of discipline. They don't let stuff slide. So a woman's approach is different, but still it's tough to raising a kid as a single mother. If the man is not there, it's tough, I think. So that's the reason why you see a lot of us getting thrown in jail, because we don't have a male figure to look up to when it comes to deal with that part of the aspect. I mean, the female handles a lot of the other things, but like how to interact with other males, you see, it's gonna be lacking.
Black woman is the strongest thing on this earth. Any woman is going to protect her young. So she's gonna make sure whatever she can stop at that front door to where it doesn't hurt her children, she's gonna do that. She's gonna take all the pain, all the sadness, she's gonna make it go away as fast as she can. She hopes she never feel it. But the only thing is, a woman can't raise a man. That's the only issue. Like I said, she can love him to death. She can, make all the scratches and scars go away, nurse you back to health. But you can't show him how to be a man. And sometimes they say, oh, you made him soft. She ain't make him soft. She did exactly what she was supposed to do. You not being that made your son soft. Or you not being that made your son, he don't play sports. Why? You never taught him how to play a sport. He don't work on cars like I did. Did you show the man did you show him how to work on that car? So the mom's going to do the mom's job. That's just a mom. I'm protecting my children. I'm gonna keep them away from all the hurt and pain I can. But once he gets to a certain point, mama can't do that for him no more. Where was you at to help me at this point in my life? You can't do it.
Before I kind of understood like how a lot of the world worked and why some things were how they were, I really just kind of was beating myself up a lot. Like, damn, like I ain't shit. Like when you get told you ain't shit so many times, you start to believe it. And it's like, I know at one point, I want to say the lowest point in my life was in 2017. I had just quit my job driving trucks, and I came home. The mother of my child left me, and I have no money. My car was broke. I have no job, and as life would have it, I was also I had to take care of my daughter, because in the whole grand scheme of things, somehow her mom just, I don't know, couldn't be there. So it was just me and my daughter. I'm like, okay, what the fuck am I gonna do? It's like being in that situation really broke me. Like being at your lowest will really, really, really show you who you really are in your life. And I feel like a lot of people don't have the mental or spiritual fortitude to push through that, so that's why a lot of times people tend to move to vices, so like drugs, sex, alcohol, like anything, or they take out their frustrations on other people. And since I was never raised like that, so I didn't have that thought process in my mind. I was raised on, if you have a problem, you just need to find a solution for it. And so it took me some time. It took me a long ass time. I'm not gonna lie. It took me a long ass time to like really get to a happy place. But I never gave up hope that I could get there. It's just making sure you have the right people around you, making sure you have a goal in your life, making sure you have like a real purpose to keep pushing. And for me, it was my daughter. Like I was like, regardless of what happened to me in this life, I'm gonna make sure my daughter's straight. So like I'm gonna work that shitty job. I'm gonna work that shitty job. I'm gonna break my back, to provide for her. So as long as she's straight, I could be happy.
That's awesome.
As a black male in America, I don't think you can afford to be depressed. Because at every corner, every neck of the woods is a trial. You go into a store, you're being watched for or see if you're going to steal something, you immediately assume that you're not going to be able to purchase anything, or you're going to commit some type of crime driving down the street. It's never just a casual experience, because you can be stopped any minute by the cops. So you can't afford to be depressed. You have people going to criticize you if you're absent from the home. If you've been thrown in jail, you're going to be criticized. If you become depressed in any one of those situations, society is going to engulf, it's going to swallow you. It's the way it's just the way it is. So it's unfortunate. It's not a good word. It's not even a strong enough word to describe it. You know what I'm saying? It's yeah. I mean, you have them. Even while you're incarcerated, you got people on death row for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? Death row without it being justified. And then after 10 years or something, you get awarded financial sum. But when you're gonna go home to, your kid is already grown up, she's already moved on. People looking at you, and then when you get stopped again and they pull up that record, then you might be going right back. So you can't even afford to be depressed.
I actually suffer from depression. And the social pressures do make it a lot harder, because I can't even show it. Because they looking for a chink in my armor. They looking for a way to be able to rattle me or make me, get out of character, to where they can use it to either get me out of the position I'm in or put me in a place I really don't want to be. So now I have to suck it up and take in all this pain and anger and mistreatment. And now when I get back to my house after dealing with this all day, if I let it out, I'm the big angry black man. If I cry about it, I'm the weak black man. If I go seek help, now I'm bougie, or I'm soft, or I'm this. So now I have to take the pain that you know you're giving me. I gotta take it and deal with it, and not even seek help or express my feelings about it, because in some way, shape, or form, it's gonna be a narrative and can ultimately get me killed just because I'm feeling my feelings.
And this is the last question, just to wrap up our interview. Thank you so much. If you got a call from God, would you answer it today?
If I got a call from God, will I answer it? Hell yeah. Me, okay, so I'm gonna give y'all some more information about me. I guess you could say I'm agnostic. So I don't really subscribe to a religion. Like I'm not Christian. Even though I was raised Christian, I don't see myself as a Christian. Like I have read the Bible. I do take some cues from the Bible to like live my life, like do right by others, don't steal, don't kill, all that. But I feel like that's just being a good person. I feel like that's just like the morally right thing to do. And I don't personally feel like I need to I feel like I don't need to follow a religion to be a good person. But I can also say I don't know what's out there. I'm not one of the people that I would never tell nobody that what they believe in is wrong. But I know for me personally, in my journey, I don't know what's out there. So until I find out what's out there, I'm just gonna I'm gonna keep searching. I'm gonna keep living my life as best as I can. But if I was to receive a call from God, I would answer. I don't even know what I would ask him. I probably wouldn't ask him shit. I'd try to just so tell me about yourself. Like, what made you want to make this planet? What made?
Yeah, absolutely not. I would tell God. I mean, when when black people pray, does it get answered? So I got to stay on this earth, Lord, and try to uplift my people till the wheels fall off. You understand? If I'm gonna die trying early, late, early, or whatever, then it is what it is. So, Lord, I'm not ready to go. I'm not ready to go just yet. Was that answer your question?
That answered my question. And thank you so much to Mr. Sam for answering all these questions.
Okay.
Just one more thing that I need you to do for me. Can you look into the camera and just state the words, the black badge?
The black badge.
Thank you
The
so
black
much.
badge.
And that could
It's not my time yet because there's so much work that's still left to do. If a house on fire, if I leave the house, it's still on fire. I gotta put this fire out for my family who wants to stay in this house, or for the next person who's gonna live in this house. So the job ain't the job far from over. I've already been through it. I know how to navigate and get through it, and the proper resources to get it done. So now I have to share, and I have to keep being an example. I have to keep showing everybody who's still here and that's going to go through it. Every young black child, you're gonna have to go through this. Even though you shouldn't have to, even though you don't deserve it. Nobody deserves it. But I can't go yet because I gotta show everybody who's around me, or everybody who's gonna see this, you need to see the way. You need to see they did it. They went through hell. I could do it.